Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the editions of Organon of Medicine. So we will try to make it simple and easy. Please watch the full video because in the end we have discussed that how to learn these editions in the easiest way. To learn the editions, their dates and their aphorisms and the other changes that took place in every editions. So first we will see first three editions that was published in Leipzig. Then fourth and fifth were published in Cothen, and the last one was published in Paris. So first edition came in the year 1810, second edition came in the year 1819, that is after 9 years of the first edition. Then third edition came in the year 1824, that is after 5 years. Now number of aphorisms in first edition 271, in second edition there are 318. Actually, there are 315, but 3 pages have been missed out. So it becomes 318. Same, the condition was in edition third. Total number of aphorism 320, and actually they are 317. Now the editions which were published in Cothen were fourth and fifth edition. Fourth edition came in the year 1829, that is again after 5 years of third, and the total number of aphorism in that is 292. Then fifth edition came again after 4 years, that is 1833, and it has total number of aphorisms 294. Then the last edition, which came in Paris, published in the year 1921, and total number of aphorisms in this were 291. Now we will see the detail of every editions. So first edition we have studied came in the year 1810. Total number of aphorisms 271. Place was Leipzig, and the publisher of the first edition was Arnold of Dresden. Title of the first edition was Organon der rationalen Heilkunde, and its translation is Organon of Rational Art of Healing. So this edition has no table of content. It has poem of Gellert, and there was no portrait of Dr. Henneman in the first edition. And the translation of this edition was done in the year 1913 by Dr. C. E. Wheeler, and this translation was from German to English. Now comes the second edition, which came in the year 1819. Aphorisms 318, place Leipzig. Title, the second edition. In second edition, the title of the book was again changed from Organon der Rational Heilkunde to Organon der Heilkunst. In translation, it becomes Organon of Healing Art. And after second edition, same title was used in every edition. Second edition is also known as augmented edition. Second edition contains the portrait of Hahnemann, Audi Sapre. In second edition, Gellert's poem was replaced by Audi Sapre, and the table of content was added in the second edition. Now translation of second edition. In the year 1829, this book was translated by Dr. Ernest George von Bruno, and this translation was from German to French language. Then after that, third edition, which came in the year 1824, has 320 aphorisms, place Leipzig, title, the same title as of second, Organon of Healing Art. This aphorism is known as improved edition. It includes mesmerism and no other significant changes were done in this edition. Now comes the fourth edition. Fourth edition came in the year 1829. Total number of aphorisms 292 and the place Kothen. Title was Organon of Healing Art. And the fourth edition was known as Augmented and Improved Edition. It includes Theory of Chronic Disease, Psoric Miasm, chapter Introduction to Organon was added in this edition, and antipathy was used first time in the Organon. Its translation was done in the year 1833 by C.H. Devrient from German to English language, and this was the first ever English translation of Organon of Medicine. Now comes the second edition, fifth edition. That was the most precise and popular edition, published in the year 1833. Aphorisms 294, title Organon of Healing Art. The place was Coethen. This was the last publication of Hahnemann's life, because in 1843 Dr. Hahnemann died. Now you will comment in the comment box that due to which disease Dr. Hahnemann died. We have seen the answer of this question in our previous video. If you have not watched about the life history of Dr. Hahnemann, you can watch my previous video. Doctrine of vital force was first time introduced in the 5th edition. Drug dynamization was added and isopathy was used in the 5th edition. Now comes the translation of the 5th edition. It was translated in the year 1849 by R.E. Dejen, and the translation was from German to English language. Now comes the 6th edition. It came in the year 1921, that is after the death of Dr. Hahnemann. It has aphorisms 291, title is same, Organon of Healing Art, and the place was Paris. This was prepared by Dr. Hahnemann in the year 1842, but published in the year 1921. So this book was published after the death of Dr. Hahnemann, so it is known as posthumous edition of Organon of Medicine. It was published in German by Dr. Richard Hales, and the translation of this edition was done by William Borick in English language. In this edition, vital force was changed to vital principle and 50 millisimal potency was introduced in the 6th edition. So we have seen all the editions of Organon of Medicine. Now let's revise and try to learn it in easy way. The editions of Organon. First we will learn the dates. First edition, second edition, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. First edition came in the year 1810. After 9 years, second edition, that is in 1819. Third edition after 5 years, 1824. Fourth edition, 1829. Fifth edition, 1835. And the last edition came in the year 1921. Learn it as 1810, 19, 24, 29, 33 and 21. Now we will see the aphorisms. In the first edition, 271. Second, 318. Third, 320. Fourth, 292. Fifth, 294. And sixth, 293. 1. So this can be learned easily because second and third edition has gap of 2 in the increasing order. Fourth and fifth also have the gap of 2 in the increasing order. Then last has, you all know that in the sixth edition there are 291 aphorisms. So this was about the dates and aphorisms. Now we will see the changes. First edition, and one more thing, the first 2 editions, these 2 editions published in Leipzig. Then 3, 3rd, 4th, 5th in Cothen. And the last was in Paris. Now the first edition, we will see the title of the book. That was Organon der Rational Heilkunde. And the English translation is known as Organon of Rational Art of Healing. Okay. The place we know. The publisher was Arnold of Dresden. There was no table of content. Galler's poem was there. So these were the main points of first edition. And one more thing, the translation of the first edition was done in the year 1913. That first edition was the edition to be translated in the last. That is in 1913, because other editions have been translated before first edition. And this was translated by C.E. Wheeler from German to English. Okay. Now about the second edition. Second edition, title was changed. Here the title was changed, that from Organon of Healing Art. From the rationalen word was removed from the previous title and became Organon der Heilkunst. In the first edition it was Heilkunde, and in the second edition it becomes Heilkunst after the removal of rationalen term. Now this edition is also known as augmented edition. In this, table of content was added, which was absent in the first. Ode Sapre was introduced in place of Gellert's poem. And this book was translated. Translation was done by Ernest George von Bruno in the year 1824. That is from German to French. This was a translation which was done from German to French, and it was the first translation to be done. Now we will see the third edition. The title was same. There was no significant additions done in this. No significant addition was done in this edition. Now comes the fourth edition. Fourth edition was one thing in the third edition, that it is known as improved edition. Second was known as augmented, and third edition is known as improved edition. Fourth edition together known as augmented and improved edition. That is combination of second and third, improved edition. The things included in this edition was theory of chronic disease, chapter introduction to Organon was added in this edition. Now its translation was done by C.H. Devrient in the year 1833 from German to English, and it was the first ever English translation. The first translation we have seen of the first edition, but it was translated after a long time. So fourth edition became the first translation to be translated in the English language in 1833. because first edition was translated in the year 1913. Now comes the fifth edition. Fifth edition, everything was same. Only doctrine of vital force was introduced and drug was introduced. Its translation was done in the year 1849 by R.E. Dozen, that you all everyone know, and it was also from German to English. Now about the sixth edition. Sixth edition is also known as posthumous edition because it was published after the death of Hahnemann in the year 1921. Dr. Hahnemann prepared it in 1842, but he died before the publishing of the book. It was published in German by Richard Hales and in English, it was published by William Borick. And two things were added in this edition, that is, vital force was changed to vital principle and 50 millisievert potency was added in this edition. Now how to learn the translations? See, the first translation was the last translation in 1913. The second translation was done in the same year when the third edition came, that is in the year 1824. Now the fourth translation was done in the same year when fifth edition came, that is in the year 1833. So by this logic you can learn the translation years. So this was all about the editions of Organon. Hope you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.